How's everybody doing today? Today we have another podcast, Q&A on careers, guys, jobs, yes, that are making modern American black man rich. You know, a lot of guys today don't believe a job can make you rich. But I'm here to tell you that if you work a job the right way, a job can definitely make you rich. So today we're going to be talking about 7 different types of careers that modern American black men are going into that are making them financially successful. You know, so we got a lot of guys in the community who, we're still hurting in the black community. We got a lot of men who, are aware that we got a lot of men in the community that are aware that you can't really make a living if you're running the streets like a lot of modern American black men be doing. So a lot of times these guys end up going into careers, good careers, guys. You know, today we have a lot of people who will tell you up and down that working a job is slavery. Well, my thing that I know about slavery, the little education that I do know, is that back in slavery days, slaves could not pick where they want to work at. So for everybody in the black community that think that working a job is slavery, then you gotta say that you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Like nobody's forcing you to stay on a certain type of job. Like say you were on somebody and somebody told you that hey, you gotta wake up at 5 in the morning and start picking cotton life until the sun up the sun down. No, working a job is not like slavery, guys. That's one of the excuses that a lot of these losers are making out here. There's a lot of guys out here in the black community who will tell you up and down that working a job is difficult. It's the new form of slavery and stuff like that. But the simple fact is that you can work wherever you choose to work at. Guys, there is jobs out here, and if you are qualified enough, or you know where to look at, you can also find a job that will pay you and make you financially successful. And let me just make one thing clear before everybody start judging me. Just because a job pays you 6 figures a year doesn't mean that you're financially successful, because you still have to manage money, know how to manage money and stuff like that. You So if you know how to manage money and you got a good job, you know, and you got a good job, then hey, you know, then you can make something happen out of that. But guys, there is guys in the black community who have figured it out. They have figured it out. They have figured out the keys to success. And it wasn't selling keys on a block. It wasn't selling, D to people in your neighborhood. They didn't have to gang bang it out. They didn't have to do things the wrong way. Simply, all it took was an ideal, discipline, and a job. So we're gonna get into some of the things, guys. Thanks for the Jim. You done finally out of all this time I'd have been on here. You done finally sent me a gift. Thank you, Jim. You know, thank you for sending me that gift. I appreciate it. Shout out to Jim, y'all. Jim is in the building. My boy Jim. You know, Ariel said, if you don't work, you don't eat. Facts. If you don't have any type of, not necessarily work, but if you live in a society like we live in America, then the main way that you're going to make money is by working a job. Now, we stay somewhere else, and we stay somewhere else in another country where we was just out in the jungle and we were just surviving. We build our own houses. We probably ain't got electricity or internet and stuff like that. Then that would be a different story. You know, we live in a first world society. So working a job will be the first way to achieve success here in American society and places like the United Kingdom, places like Australia. These are, civilized places, but we was in uncivilized places that still could be civilized. We still will have to work, meaning that we'll have to tend to our own gardens. We'll have to protect our land. We probably will work for a cow or a pig. We probably hunt and stuff like that. But guys, there's too many guys in the black community who's, out here, not doing nothing, just riding the train, homeless as can be, when a lot of these dudes can be working a job. So we about to get into that right now, guys. We're gonna get into some of the top 7 types of jobs that is making modern American black man rich. Um, and if anybody wants shout out, anybody got anything special they want to say, the way to get my attention, because sometimes I might skip over messages, but to get my attention is to send a super chat, a super sticker, or something like that, because I'll see it. But I'm gonna read this message from Squall and Fancy One. Anyone who is overweight cannot be taken seriously. I'm not playing with people. I am not playing with people. I am not playing with you. Now he's out of here. Now he's out of here. Anyone who's overweight can't be taken seriously. Donald Trump is overweight and he's the president. Come on, bro. Oprah been overweight, and really like for a man, I weigh less than probably Travis Kelce for the NFL. Like I got the perfect NFL type weight while you talking. And now you're not even here no more. I got the perfect weight for a running back. I got the perfect weight for a running back. I got the perfect weight for a defensive end. It's normal. So, guys, let's get into the topic. Let's talk about this. Let's get into the topic. We're going to be talking about these jobs, guys. So, the first job that's making a modern American black man rich are black men who are getting into trucking, guys. Modern American black men that are getting into trucking. Trucking has been one of them. Trucking is the heartbeat of American society. Goods are shipped all across this country through cargo, through trains, but the majority trucking. Soon as they get off the ship, they probably go on a train, but the train is going to immediately go to some type of 18 wheeler. So, first of all, the first job that is making modern American black man rich is trucking. Do you have any advice for let's you're out of here. You see, guys, we're not gonna play with these people today. We are not playing Jim. You know, like I was nice with you, Jim. Other people not getting a chance because I'm not blocking them for the day. I'm blocking them permanently from the channel. You know, like I'm past that. Like, but Jim, we've been through a lot, Jim. You still here. You still standing tall, but a lot of people ain't gonna get that opportunity like you did. You know what I'm saying? Jim, they've been here through thick and thin. You know. And he finally just sent me a gift. I appreciate that. He finally just sent me a gift. Thank you, Jim. So, guys, trucking, guys, you got to think about it. If you can take a career, if you can take a career, guys, where you can literally live in your 18 wheeler, meaning that a lot of guys who drive 18 wheelers don't necessarily have families. Some a lot do, but there's guys. The most successful guys are the black man who don't have families, so they can sleep in their cab in an 18 wheeler. They make enough money because they're traveling all the time, you know. And you can easily make 180. So if you logically out it, guys, if you drive the 18 wheeler and a lot of modern American black men go to prison, and a lot of guys are still in prison, been in prison for 20 years. Can you imagine? Put yourself in a prisoner's shoes. You know, a guy who's waiting for canteen to come, who works for cents when he goes to work because he's in prison. He's working for cents. Can you imagine that you're a trucker and you're not in prison, but you put yourself in a mindset that so you're making $120,000 a year after taxes. So now, since you drive a truck, you save enough money with every check where you're saving at least $50,000 a year for 5 years, guys. If you're making $120,000 and you can live in hotels sometime, you know, sleep in your cab, or you might own a property, you know, and you just live as a minimalist, you know, then you can become financially successful, you know, because you're not spending money because you're always working. You're working 5, 6, 7 days a week, you know, so you got money. And so now you're saving enough money with every check that you get. So at the end of the year, you didn't save 50 grand. So the average, below average modern American black man is probably in prison for 5 years or homeless for 5 years. But you disciplined yourself. You're going to work every day, you know. So you're home. You're not homeless. You can live in your truck. You can go get a hotel, or you probably own your own property. You know, so now you're saving 50 grand a year. So in 5 years, you have $250,000. If you can make $120,000 driving a semi, and you can live in that semi most of the time, and you're working most of the time, and you can save 50 grand a year out of your checks, then in 5 years, you'll have $250,000. That's how guys, people don't look at money like that. You know, people do not look at money like that. They look at money like, oh, my check 2,500, so I'm about to go. Oh man, these shoes 300. That's what a lot of black men do. These shoes 300. Man, I'm about to get that chain, and then I'm about to hit up this chick. Yeah, shawty, you trying to go out? Yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Then you be broke. But if you could discipline yourself in 5 years, you have $250,000. You'll be able to pay off all your debt in that time period. Have excellent credit. So now you have enough money to buy a house. You have open up a business, and you have built your credit to a solid spot where you can use your credit as leverage. So that's the first type of job. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. Do you guys got any other ideas of any type of careers that is making modern American black man rich? And it's not just modern American black man, it's other men as well too. But I'm just keeping it into the black community on this video. Subscribe and thumbs up the video. We just discussed the first thing, the first element. So guys, any job can potentially make you financially successful and rich if you have a plan with that job. But the more money a job pays you, the faster you could get to where you're trying to go. But even if you're making the bare minimum, you still can turn that cash into something beneficial for you. A lot of people don't look at it like that. A lot of guys, um, um, Leggett Review said, "More money, more problems." This is not facts. That's a poor man's mindset. More money, more problems. No, more money, less problems, because you got so much money to handle your problems. Can you imagine that you have a sick auntie, a sick grandmother, or a sick mother, and your mother needed money to stay alive? You just wanted her to stay alive for one more month on life support. But since most modern American black men don't learn how to manage money, and they want to be hood dudes, then now instead of them getting that extra month with their mom, you can pay for her life support while she's in the hospital. You say more money, more problems. More money, less problems. That's the fact. No money, more problems. Guys, don't listen to people with poor mindsets. Less money, more problems. The less money you have, the more problems you're going to have. People be listening to these stupid rappers. They're listening to the stupid rappers. More money, more problems. They don't make no sense at all. I'm a prime example, guys. Okay. We're going to go to any modern American black neighborhood in this country. That's the hood that we call the hood. And is everybody in the hood rich? Do they have more money in the hood? Do they have more money in the hood? No, they don't. Usually they're poor. They have less money and more problems. Rich people be somewhere where the crime rate is not bad. They're in the suburbs. Jogging, walking the dog, ain't got to worry about your neighbors coming in your house. More money, less problems. You better stick to that. Stop thinking about, like a lot of these rappers got y'all brainwashed. That's why a lot of modern American black men don't even want to work jobs. We just talked about the first thing that can make you financially successful is trucking. Trucking is one of those jobs, guys. This is a job for a man, not one of those mans who don't like to travel. Trucking is for a man who wants to get on that highway and go and see the country. Long haul trucking. You want to make some money and you ain't got no family, you ain't married. Trucking is one of those. Whose mask is this? Now that's what I'm telling you. Legit reviews. More money, less problems. More money, less problems. Usually marriages break up because of money. Usually your baby mama be tripping at you because you ain't paid child support because of money. Usually you can't keep a woman because she like, oh, I can go get this dude with more money. But when you have money, I'd rather have a problem for a woman trying to stay with me to take my money than a woman just don't want to be with me. Because a lot of times when you have a lot of money, women will stick to you like glue. Guys, and trust me, I know. When you have a married, I know. When you have money and you can take care of your business, the woman that you want, 9 times out of 10, or the more money, the more women that's gonna want you. The more money you get, the more women is gonna want you, and they will try their best to stick to you like glue. Jim H. Jim H. said, "I drink directly from the septic tank." Well, you probably need to go to the hospital and get checked out because you probably got a new type of disease, brother. If you drink from a septic tank, you need to go get that checked out real fast. You know, and you wouldn't be here if you did that. Guys, less money, more problems. Put it on a shirt. Less money, more problems. You know, think about it. Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing and going off of rap music and be like, oh, the rapper said this. NBA YoungBoy just said this. Young Thug just said this. I'm talking about you gotta be an idiot if like a rapper can rap a song or make a song for like 3 or 4 minutes. That's how long the song is, and it repeats over and over and over again. And you go back and be like, "Oh, he just said this though, bro. He just signed himself. He signed. He wrote himself a check." Ariel said you can't do nothing without money. You sure can't. More money, less problems. More money can put you in a place where poor people can't get to. You got security. Security's out there because you got money. You stay in a gated community now. Where your family can't even come in without giving an ID. I be around. I be in places like that. I don't be a. The hood is not all good, man. The hood is not. I don't know who told y'all being broke is all good, but it's not. But let's keep it moving. Let's see what the internet has to say about types of jobs that is making modern American black man rich because I never asked them this. You can keep thinking that. You can keep thinking there's more money, more problems. Well, since there's more money, more problems, you can super chat me right now and let me know you ain't broke. Cause obviously you got money. Obviously, legit reviews got some money and he need to super chat this channel because he's telling me it's more money, more problems. I don't believe him. Maybe I'll believe you if you send a super chat. How about that? And I hope you guys subscribe to the channel. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem because you're broke, buddy. You're broke. You know, you can't get on the basketball, the legendary basketball I got back here. People who super chat get and become a member of this channel gets their name on that ball. This ball will be a part of this channel forever. And then it's gonna be a trophy. And then I'm gonna have better balls. You know, I'm not gonna do too many balls, but I might do a sweatshirt and then get it reprinted with none but people who supported the channel. You know. So let's hurry up and get through with this. No, I'm not shipping you the ball. I am not going to ship you that ball because that ball is sentimental. That ball has sentimental values to it. I was going to give it away once it get filled with numbers, but that basketball motivates me, man. I'm not giving that ball to. I will have to give that ball to somebody special. If I ever gave that ball to somebody, if I really want to motivate, if I really believed you know, and stuff, and you really wanted that ball, that's the only time I give it to you. Other than that, you ain't gonna get that. Ain't nobody getting that ball. My son can't even get that ball. He can't play basketball with it or nothing. That's how much that ball mean to me. How about that? All right, let's see what the internet has to say, guys. Let's see what the internet has to say about careers. Yeah, he can get on it. If he could, he would. If he could, he would. So they don't really have anything, guys. That's why us as modern American black man, we have to do better. Like a lot of guys want to be hood dudes. Like I just looked up types of jobs that are making black American black man rich. They don't have nothing on it because guys, the people don't want to accept the fact that most black men, you know, are struggling with it. They ain't out here. It's crazy, bro. But I do have a website. So, and the thing about it is, yeah, electricians and plumbers is a great careers. And that's one of those that I was gonna get into. But they have so the jobs like a sales engineer, product manager, lead engineer, IT manager, director of product, director of marketing, architect, and develop ops. You see, most modern American black man would be like, that's too, we ain't trying to, we ain't getting into all that. They try to put out these big words to confuse you. But the simplest career can make you financially successful. The simplest career can make you financially successful. So, the next type of career that can make you financially successful is plumbers and electricians. You know, guys who are out here, they probably took some type of technical training, or worked under a master electrician or master plumber, and they learn how to plumb or how to do electrical. Once you do these type of careers for so long, you become valuable because most people don't know how to wire a house. Most people don't know how to. They be like, oh, the light bulb not working. You can charge somebody if you have your own electrician. You can turn that career to a business. You know, plumbing. You know, all the abandoned houses in the black community. You know, in a lot of black communities, there's a lot of abandoned properties that need that once you renovate them and stuff like that, you need to do electrical on those. You know, you need to do plumbing on those. And plumbing and electrical, these are not small checks that, you know, if you have a business, because you got the certifications, you got the plaques on the wall, the paperwork that say you a master plumber. So now you can have your own business. And these checks that plumbers and electricians get are not small checks. Say for instance, you got 3 jobs in a week. You know, one you probably got to wire from the box and you're wiring the house, but you done hired people to do that. What, 15,000, $20,000 a check, and then you doing plumbing. You gotta dig. You gotta order. I mean, you gotta go and rent heavy machinery, like from Home Depot or something like that. So you might gotta dig a trench to get to a certain pipe. Then you replace it, or you replace the whole pipe. You gotta dig a trench. Then you gotta put it back. You know, asphalt over that or whatever. And these are big checks. You know that guys are overlooking. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. How you pronounce your name? Lost Vibes just sent a gift. I appreciate you. Thank you for sending me that gift. You see, guys, certain careers you can turn into a multi-million-dollar company. Like trucking is one of those industries that modern American black man get into and start their own companies. You know, but first of all, you're gonna have to buy your own trucks or have a way to get access to have the responsibility that people will lend you the trucks. Then you got plumbers, you got people who do electrical, you know. And like I said, these are humongous checks. These are not $500 checks. Like sometimes you might, like, say for instance, if you go in a house and you just fix a plug, that's probably like a $500 check. You know, that's like probably like easy 500, easy $200-300. You know, but when you get to where it's taking you time, hours out of your time, you know, that's when you start getting into the real money. You know, because now, you know, how much does okay, guys, we're gonna so we're gonna ask Google. We're gonna ask Google so we can clarify so you guys don't think I'm just talking. So you don't just think I'm just talking. How much do master plumbers make?
And 84,000 over 100,000. The salaries vary based on location, experience, and if they own their own business, which can increase earning potential.
See. Hold on. There it go. How much do master plumbers make?
Master plumbers typically earn between $80,000 and $84,000 annually. Hourly wages often fall between $40 and $60. Those salaries can vary based on experience, location, and if they own their own business.
So she just said that master plumbers make $40 to $60 an hour. $40 to $60. Can you imagine going to do something that you're highly experienced in doing? Because you've been doing it for 2, 3 years. You did it for 4 years. You've been working. and you know how to wire a whole apartment complex. You've been doing it for a while, and you're making $60 an hour at 25 years old. Like you're 25 and been doing electrical ever since you was 18. You see, we got a lot of modern American black men in our community who, since they've been 18, they've been writing songs trying to blow up in the music industry instead of getting a career like that. You know. So that's plumbers. Let's go to electricians. Google, how much do master electricians make?
Master electricians typically earn between $75,000 and $93,000 annually. Top earners can make over $110,000, and pay varies based on location, experience, and if they own their own business.
So guys, you got to realize what they're saying. They're not saying that they make $75,000 to $93,000 a year. They said 75,000 to 93,000 annually. That's like what, every 4 months, or something like that. That's for the top people. You know, and who really knows what electricians who got businesses make, because they can really make their own prices. You know. So let's get into the next thing, a career that is making modern American black man rich. Roofing. Roofing, guys. The Spanish brothers and sisters and everybody else have been doing this for a while. Black men have fell off of doing roofs. I don't know why. Because roofing is where the money is. Anything that you have to do with a man doing physical manual labor can make you rich. Like, that's why construction workers kind of make good money. They might not be rich, but they make enough money to manage and to get to being rich faster than regular people. You see a construction worker can get richer faster than a modern American black man who works for Walmart. Because he's making more money. The value for a man. There's a lot of women who stay in their own houses now, and they need men to come and charge them $2, $3, $5,000 to fix their roof. So that's another career that a lot of modern American black man is making a lot of modern American black man rich, and could make you a multi-millionaire. Because if you look at most black communities, especially in my old neighborhood in Memphis, Tennessee, most of the houses haven't had a new roof on it. These old houses that's abandoned, that people, these houses ain't had a new roof on it for the last 30 years. I think a roof was supposed to last for like 20 to 30 years or something like that. Most of these houses ain't had a new roof for about 30 years in the hood. So your business, you come in doing it for 5-10 grand. Hop on the roof, take the shingles off, fix up. You're a carpenter, so you fixing up the wood so it won't leak, putting the stuff down. Then you lay the shingles. See, a lot of people don't look at it like that. But let's look at how much do the roofers make per roof if you have a business. How much do roofers make per house if you have your own business?
Roofers running their own businesses can earn anywhere from a few $1,000s to over $10,000 per house, depending on the job's complexity and their
You see what I'm saying?
Some aim for $1,000 profit, while others target $10,000 or more.
You see what I'm saying? Did you just hear what she just said? Some roofers make the minimum is a couple, like $3,000 for a roof. If you got your own business and you know how to do roofs, guys, for all my black men who listening, who never thought of this, who not scared of heights. Some roofs you can make 10 grand. It probably take you about 3 days to do a roof. You can make 10 grand on some of a lot of these properties in a couple of days. And other days when you got other roofs, you see a lot of people be thinking that the Spanish brothers and sisters, the Mexicans will be on the roof since all the black people want to be hood ninjas, and stuff like that. They be thinking that the Mexicans are stupid. No, no, the Spanish brothers and sisters have learned, and they're very intelligent people. You know, when they making 10 grand and they got that new work truck that they got because they did three 10 grand homes in the last month while you out here trying to be a rapper selling D. You out here trying to be a rapper selling D on the block, mad, when you can go to school and you can learn how to do this. You know. So we're gonna get into the next thing, guys. I hope you guys taking notes. I hope you taking notes because I'm giving away $1 million worth of game on this podcast, and ain't nobody super chatted. You know, we got a couple gifts. Ain't nobody super chatted. Somebody got to hit that super chat for me to get into the next one. We did 3 already. Trucking, electrical, and plumbing. These jobs are making black men financially successful. Roofing. What's the third one? So we're going to get into the fourth thing. But before we get into the fourth thing, we're going to take this time. We're going to take a couple minutes to see if anybody want to support the channel. For people who haven't subscribed, people who haven't thumbs up the channel, you know, and I got my friendly Google right here to just like she just said, you can make a couple $1,000s from a roof to up to $10,000 per roof. You know, think about that. 10,000. Imagine if you got 3 $10,000 roofs in a month. Not even 3. What if you just had one $10,000 roof in a month? Imagine that. How about that? If you had only one $10,000 roof and the other roofs were 6,000, the other roof was 3, you still it's over the $120,000 a year mark. But the Dr. Pepper King said, I don't have any money. But what about landscaping? The landscaping definitely is a career that if you have your own company and you know what you're doing, because because I'm from down south, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those rich white people and rich people have big yards, especially down south. They need their mulch. You see, you probably don't get a $10,000 yard. It just if it's humongous, you might get a $10,000 yard. But you know, but landscaping, you probably can get if you got some high end clientele, like people in the rich area, the rich neighborhood who are doctors. Because I done did landscaping in those areas and stuff like that. You can make $1,000, $2,000 a yard. You know. 1,000, 2,000. A lot of these rich people as well, they will give you the money to buy the stuff that they need laid down. So you write them, they're paying you to go get the stuff. So you might have it where you got a business and they got to pay you half up front. But landscaping is one of those things that can make you rich. So that's the fourth thing. So I guess today nobody ain't got no super chat money, so we're gonna get into the fifth thing. Like I said, guys, it's okay. it's not a lot of people in here. It's not that many people in here, so I don't expect everybody to be able to support the channel. Some people can't support the channel, but if we had more than the amount of people that we have in here now, then like we had 150, 25, 30 people, I'm gonna expect people to super chat and stuff. But when we only got a small amount of people in here, 9 times out of 10, it's just people who's trying to learn something, probably ain't got it right now or whatever, but it's not, um, for life, you know. It's crazy. So we're gonna get into the next career that can make modern American black man that are making modern American black man rich. And that is concrete. Yeah, I said it, concrete. So if you go to neighborhoods like where I'm from, like my dad's from Louisiana, my mom's from Memphis, I'm from Memphis, and you go and look at people's yards and their driveways, and you see how long that driveway is, and the concrete's all messed up. If you knew how to pour concrete and shape it out and stuff like that, you can make $10,000 off of doing concrete. You don't have to do it all concrete. You're just doing driveways. You're just doing driveways. You're making driveways. You're bringing them back to life. Old driveways. You bring your old driveways back to life. You're making them modernized. Concrete is one of those jobs that can make you financially successful. Now we're gonna go to my man Google, and we're gonna ask him, how much do business owners make who do concrete driveways?
Concrete driveway business owners in the U.S. can earn between $70,000 and $145,000 annually. Top earners can make over $290,000. Income depends on factors like company size, location, and how efficiently the business operates, with profit margins ranging from 20 to 40%.
That's more than an electrician doing driveways. That's more than an electrician. $290,000 a year if you're successful. And they're not saying, they said you can make between $70,000 and $145,000 annually. Now let's see what that means for all you guys who is C students like I was. Well, I was a C, D, and F student. So let's see what annually means for the C, D, and F students. What does annually pay mean?
Annually pay means the total amount of money earned in a year. It's a yearly sum used for fixed salaries or estimated compensation for hourly workers, which can include bonuses, commissions, and overtime.
Also, it is a yearly salary. It is a yearly salary, so I'm wrong. So annually is a yearly salary. So it said you can make anywhere from 70 to 140K a year doing driveways. You see, we be looking at the construction workers. They be looking at me like, oh, look at that dude and that he ain't making no money. Lies in the seat. Yeah, you think that, huh? Why you think I got these bags under my eyes? You see these bags? I'm getting old. You hear my way? I'm gonna wake up in the morning, go get me a cup of coffee, go get me a pack of cigarettes, hit my J. Where my J at? Hit my J in the morning, go on my way to work, be full of it, going to work, hyped up. I'm about to get to work, I'm about to be nice, holler at people, hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, all that. A lot of guys in the black community, a lot of guys can't smoke and go to work. They be tripping. They get people talking about them and stuff. The manager tell you something, you go off. Ariel said he do driveways, trash cans, and cars. Cool. That's a good business to get into. I'm thinking about actually. I wouldn't mind. I don't know about starting a business and doing it, but I wouldn't mind working for somebody who did concrete. Concrete's a good. It's not easy. Concrete is a strain that you're gonna. You know, it's a hard job. It's just like I like to like asphalt. I would do that. Asphalt where they're laying down the new asphalt for the road and that shit hot, and you gotta with the thing, and then they got the people in the big machine who drive the big machinery and the 18 wheelers drop it in the machine. Yeah, there's a lot of jobs out here, guys, that you can do. If you're a smoker like I am, if you smoke cigs and you don't want to be in Walmart saying, "Excuse me, can I go outside and smoke?" F that. I'm not about to ask you, "Can I go smoke?" I work outside. I can smoke anytime I want to. Anytime I want to, I work outside. Pull out my pack. Right. Then I dip. You know what I'm saying? I dip. Hit the corner with the J. You know what I'm saying? Hit the corner with the J. Fired up. They good. You know what I'm saying? Because I work outside. You see a lot of guys. I'm like, man, why do you work outside? You know you smoke too much. You gonna get fired, bro. You gonna get fired because you smoke too much. See, a lot of jobs not for everybody. I had to learn that for myself. I used to be one of those dudes who would go and try to work inside. I'm not an inside person. You got to learn what type of person you is. I'm an outside person. I'm 200 and some pounds. I don't want to be cooped up and shit. I want to be where I can goddamn move around. Stuff like that. Hey, that's a good business name right there. All season, and it is with a nice logo on the truck or something like that. That's a great business name right there. Shout out to that. Shout out to your business, brother. I like that. Shave what off? Shave what you want me to shave off, Jesse? I think Jesse super chatted one day. A lot of these dudes don't super chat every day. Like Jim surprised me today. I don't know if he's still here. Yeah, Jim definitely surprised me today. I didn't think he was gonna say he'll never send gifts. He'll every now and then. He one of those. Jim one of those dudes. You see, Jim one of those dudes who smoke cigarettes, and I smoke cigarettes. So what he'll do is he'll have a whole pack of cigarettes, and then he'll ask me for my cigarettes because he know I'm gonna give him one. Have you guys ever met people like that who have like say for instance you have cigarettes and then you sell them and you always have them, and then other people will hide theirs and then come to you and be like, "Bro, can I bum a cigarette?" And they already got a pack. But the game cold, bro. The game, hey, the streets cold. I'm telling you that. I know plenty of people who did me like that. So we talk about money on the channel, guys. So what you guys think? What you guys think? What are you doing to increase your income? What type of job you work for? What type of job do you know that can make modern American black man rich? The Dr. Pepper King said, "What about law enforcement?" Well, like I said, guys, it don't matter what type of job you do. Like law enforcement is one of those stable careers, But if you a guy like me and you smoke weed, a lot of weed, it's law enforcement ain't gonna be for me because they gonna be them goddamn probably arrested me. Say Wayne been driving this car. Well, he just turn the lights on when he want to. They're running lights and he pulls people over and then he let them go because they give him weed. and he taking money from people. Yeah, I couldn't do law enforcement. I'll be a bad cop, bro. They'll be done arrested me. But law enforcement is a stable law enforcement is a stable career. It's kind of like law enforcement is no different than like to me than like the medical field. But like the medical field, like you're dealing with people, but the law enforcement you're dealing with all types of people who commit crimes. I'm not knocking people who do law enforcement. You know, you can make some good money doing law enforcement, but law enforcement wasn't for me, and it wasn't for me. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's a stable career for people who, you know, like I know a lot of, especially like in Atlanta. Atlanta, one of those cities where you see a lot of black African American police officers, and Memphis, where I'm from too. You know, stable career. You know, you get paid every week. You're doing a service for your community, whatever. You know, and you can retire from doing it. You can move up in the ranks. The Dr. Pepper case said military. So the military not for everybody, but the military is one of those stable careers as well. Yeah, the military is one of those stable careers. You know, where the military, if like the military is for people who want to serve their country, and it's for bad kids who need discipline. Like I think like I should have did like at least 4 years in the military. Like my dad did. My dad retired out the military. I ain't got nothing against the military. My father was in the military. I done had people in World War Two and other wars and stuff like that. You know, so I don't have nothing against the military, but I do think that if you go with the right mindset, like the military can discipline you. It should anyway. You know, a lot of people don't have discipline. You know, like I be doing reaction videos to a lot of modern American black women and black men who get so emotional. You know, just because you getting a ticket, and then they lie to the police and end up getting a felony. But in the military, what happens in boot camps? What did you say, Private? You stink, and you a little girl, and he's yelling at you. Get up now. Give me push-ups, maggot. You know what I'm saying? Well, he gets you there. Yo, you know, I ain't got nothing against the military. Love the military, actually. Shout out to everybody who's been in the military. Shout out to you guys. The military is not a bad place. Feeds you. Military is the military, especially American military. I don't know about them other ones, but American military gonna feed you. You know, if you want to go to school, it's gonna pay you a check. You know, you gonna get benefits in the military. Like I got benefits, and I was a child of my father. I had a military card. Go on the base, give me some cigarettes for the low. You know, because they get a discount or whatever. You know, and yeah, military is not that bad. Michael Grant, if you want to change the topic, I would love to answer that question. But if you want me to answer that question, you got to super chat, bro. Because we're changing. You'll be changing the dynamic of the whole stream if I answer that question, Michael Grant. I hate to say it, but if you super chat me, we're gonna change the whole dynamic of this stream to that question. Cause that's a whole topic right there. We got Jay in the motherfucking building. Yeah, Jay in the building. Yeah, so guys, yeah, the military is not, yeah, if you got a bad son and he want to be in the streets, you know, and he walking around, you catch him with a gun, you're like, oh man, my son about to go to prison. You know what I'm saying? I'm signing, man, bruh, like I'm signing you up. Like my son, like I'm on him. You know what I'm saying? My son African American too. You know what I'm saying? My wife's a black woman. My kids are African American, so my son, like, I'm gonna try to teach him the right way, but if I see him going down the wrong path, you got, the military, man. It's like you can do it. But football and sports can teach you discipline too. If you have a good coach, or something like that, football and baseball can teach you discipline too. It can teach you football and baseball and stuff like that can show you how to work with a team. Like a lot of modern American black men who are in the streets, not the football players and stuff like that, do not know how to work as a team. You know. How's it going with you? Good. It's going good. Military is the place for him. Facts. Yeah, guys, like this is a motivational channel. Motivational channel to, sometimes we kick the shit. Sometimes I'll be out of my mind. I'll be tired. And I'll come on live. I'll be tired as heck. And I'll come on live and people just be talking crazy. I'm like, oh my God. Going down the comments, you know. But what do you guys think? So, Michael Grant, are you still here? Michael Grant, hit the comments if you're still here. So, Michael Grant said, I'm going to answer his question anyway because it was a good question. He said, what's your advice on dating non-black women? So, Michael, my advice on dating non-black women is that you have to get to know these women. A lot of women, you can't play with them. Don't play with you can't play with every woman's heart that you get with. Because sometimes women take it to a point where they'll unalive you. Or they'll do some dirt, do you dirty too. You know. I done seen a lot of men get done dirty by modern women. So the thing about it is, my advice on dating non-black women is that you got to know what you're looking for. Because all women are different. I don't mind, like, what I notice about most modern American black women is that, like, with modern American black women, I have my types of modern American black women. I love all women, but I got my types too. So, but the majority of modern American black women, if I listen to them talk for a little while, I can tell what type of woman or where she's coming from. If she's trying to hustle me or something like that, I'm not gonna have my finger to my ear while I'm talking to her or nothing like that. I'm just gonna be acting normal. She's gonna not even think I'm reading her. Like, but best believe anybody I'm around, I'm reading them. And this can come with other races of women too. But you got to look at it like when you're dating non-black women, like if you're dating women from Asia or Vietnam, like I like Asian women, you guys know that. If you're dating somebody from countries like that, then like you got to understand that they have culture. You hear me? They have a certain type of culture. Like it'll be better than what you're used to. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yeah, yeah. American white women can be pleasant, you know. But if you're a modern American black man, you still got to be careful, especially when you're dealing with Caucasian women as well, because you know, as a modern American black man, like if she decides to go off and beat herself or something like that. Like they not playing about the domestic violence, you know what I'm saying? Not playing about domestic violence. So you got to be aware of what you're getting yourself into. If you one of them dudes who don't take no nonsense, and a woman can't say nothing to you, you'll go off like that. Then maybe you don't need every type of Becky. Maybe you might need the hood chick type of Becky. Now, if you're a rich dude, if you're a rich modern American black man, then you might want the Becky who likes to jog, who walks her dog, who has a career, you know. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be probably serious until she lose feelings for you, because most modern women in America, hopefully they don't, but it's inevitable to happen that every woman that you get with, you're not necessarily going to be with her for the rest of your life. Just know that. So you have to be cautious and you have to think about yourself, you know. But at the same time, just be a good person. And I don't even think he's here no more. Yeah. And who is SK? Is she my type of black woman? Let me know that. Is SK my type of black woman? How about that? Sheree. Are you my type of chick? How about that? I didn't know who you was. I thought you was a new female. Yeah, like, so if you dating sisters, guys, you know, if you dating sisters, they got different types of sisters, you know. But I got my type and you got yours. But if a sister or any chick tells me she stays somewhere, if I stayed in Atlanta and she says she stay in Bankhead, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not gonna mess with her unless she stay in a good neighborhood in Bankhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not going to no hood or none of that with you. Yeah, so you can set me up. Uh, Blick Crazy said we not living in 1950. Ninja, expand your mind. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You just missed the whole topic. You just missed it. The 1950s black man was more of a man than you, Blick Crazy. I'm gonna tell you that because they did roofing. You know, a lot of black men did have careers. They did roofing and jobs and stuff like that. You know, and he talking about 50 push-ups. Expand your mind, young blood. My mind is expanded, homeboy. Those cigarettes ain't good for you, Brody. There you go. There y'all go in the comments. Y'all are crazy. There y'all go. I ain't about to play with y'all today, bro. Like I just said, I ain't about to play with y'all today. So do anybody want to call in? Anybody want to call in today? You know, because I didn't do a call in show on Saturday. Do anybody want to call in? If not, then you ain't got to. You know, but I'm not gonna take the time to put my number in the comments if y'all, if nobody ain't gonna call in. Like I did a couple shows, nobody called in. So we did 5 different jobs. 5K said depends on the topic. You done been on here before, and I once it get real good, Sheree, once it get real good, I'll let you come back in. But right now, you done been on already. You can't come back on yet. But once the show gets bigger and stuff like that, yeah, you can come back in. Yeah, you been here. I know people who been here not like who interact with me. You know, um so guys, we done talked about 5 careers. We got 2 more. that are making modern American black man rich. So the first thing was trucking. The first thing was trucking. The second thing was plumbing and electrical. Plumbing and electrical. The next thing was roofing, where you learn that you can make $10,000 per roof on some of these properties. You know, 5,000, a minimum of a couple stacks. You're gonna make at least three. You know, and then we did the fourth thing was concrete driveways. Concrete driveways, you can make anywhere from 70 to 140K a year doing driveways. And then if you got your own business, and then if you're a top driveway maker, you say you can make like 200 and like 80 some thousand a year off of doing driveways, meaning you could be a millionaire in 5 years type shit. You know, then we did landscaping for my boy. So we're going to get into the next thing. So the next thing that can make you financially successful, can make you rich, is carpenters, guys, woodworking guys. As you guys know, in the woodworking industry in the black community is a billion-dollar industry if you can start your own company. Because no matter where you go, like me, I'm a traveling man. I travel a lot. You know, I used to travel a lot. I'm stationary right now, but one day, I will be traveling again. You know, but right now I'm just staying put where I'm at. You know, but like if you look in a lot of the black communities all over the country, you'll see old abandoned buildings. You'll see black people staying in houses where they probably got a outside porch, a balcony where the wood is messed up and stuff like that. You know, so you come fix the whole. You know, you can make a lot of money being carpenters as well. You know, woodworking. A lot of these places you see, there's not too many guys in the black community who do carpentry, who do electrical, who do plumbing, who do roofing. Because our hood tore from the floor up. Because you know, if a lot of black men did that, they would give black people deals. They're gonna give people deals. So if you was gonna charge 4,000, you'd be like, okay, ma'am, I got you. I do roofs, and she done gave you a little cookie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She flirted with you. She gave you a little cookie, but she still got to pay you. You know, we're like, hey, I'll take 2,500. And around tax time, you'd be like, oh, I see you around tax time. You know, and I'll do it around tax time because that's when in the black community you see people have the most abundant amount of money. It's around tax time unless you just a working individual. You know, but we're gonna ask Google how much do carpenters make. How much can carpenters who own their own business make?
Carpenters owning their own businesses can make an average of $75,000 to $92,000 annually after expenses. Gross revenue for these businesses can range from $100,000 to $250,000 per year before expenses.
Easy. It's easy. So we're gonna get to the last thing, guys. The last type of job that is making a modern American black man rich is sales. Anything that has to do with sales. You know, um, you work in retail, but you're not just working retail. You're learning because in a lot of black communities, we have buildings, especially in places like Alabama, places like, you know, these black communities that is poor, and you can get properties for cheap. Guys, where I live at, if you live in New York, you know how expensive buildings can get, how expensive houses can be millions of dollars, depending on the neighborhood, you know. But in the black community, the price still low. So if you're doing retail, you know, and then you learn how to sell and you buy a business, then you can go to your plumbing brother, get the plumbing right in there, you know. Then you fix your roof, your electrical brother, you know what I'm saying? And then you got your carpenter, and you can literally open up a store, put your own. You can own your own ATM. If you didn't know that, you can own your own ATM, fill it up with your money, and make an unlimited amount of money, because your money, when people withdraw it from the ATM, it automatically replenishes itself into your bank account with the fee. So you put your own ATM in there, then you can put a cash register, you can sell fish plates, all that. You fish plates, t-shirts, there can be a whole stove plus a food spot. Multi-million-dollar jobs, guys. So a lot of you guys came in here late. A lot of you guys that came in here late and stuff like that, we've been in here for an hour and 15 minutes, man. If you guys want me to continue this live, I'm telling you, like my attention span, and I just smoked already, is going off the cash right now. So if you guys want me to stay in here, send a gift, hit the super chat. Other than that, y'all already know what it is. I'm hopping on the PlayStation, and and I got a body. I'm going to body something. I'm gonna drop the fire bombs on you. Yeah, yeah. I'm about to body some on here. You hear me? And I am. So if you guys want to change the topic, go to 599 55.99. It's your lucky day, because today I'm not putting users in timeout. I'm hiding users from the channel. I'm blocking them. And you're gone, bro. Have a good one, homeboy. Legit reviews. Yeah, I just finished smoking a stogie. A stogie. Yeah, he's out of here. It's one of them days. You see, we get guys coming here who spam the comments like that, and like at first I was putting people in timeout, but now I'm like, bruh, I am the executioner on this YouTube channel. Like, I will destroy you. Yeah, guys. So, man, I appreciate you guys, everybody, for coming through. A lot of you guys been rocking with me for a long time. You know, the channel is still growing. It's still a small YouTube channel, and there's a lot of improvement that I need to do on this for myself personally. I need to do improvement for myself, and I need to do improvement for this channel for y'all as well. So, you know, a lot of y'all been on here for a while, and there's nowhere to go but up. So, um, I'm gonna holler at you guys on the next video. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Over and out.